I'm Roger.
And I'm Adam.
And welcome to another episode of RC Street Shop's Product of the Week.
We're squeezing a video in this week.
That's right.
We can.
While we can, because we're busy.
Actually, the reason we haven't seen a lot of Product of the Week videos is we have not been getting a lot of new product in the shop.
Yes.
There's been a lot of new, exciting stuff.
That's true. But nothing really, we jump up and down and go, yay!
Yeah. So now you're going to get a parade of RC kits. That's right. We're going to show you a box of parts.
Right. We have started carrying a lot more kits now because of our customer base has shifted a little bit.
Yep.
But it still does not mean that they're not good, fun things to talk about.
No, not at all.
Today we are talking about the RC10, let me rephrase, the Team Associated RC10 B6D, D like dog. Yeah, that is the full correct name. This is the factory team kit, the only kit that's available. There are two models of the B6.
I was just going to ask, what is the, I know I was looking today, there's a B6 and a B6D.
Correct.
What is the difference?
The D is the dirt car. So what you get is you get a slightly different configuration with the standard B6. The B6 is considered a carpet car. The carpet stuff, in my experience, has been mainly kind of European stuff, but there's also some carpet tracks in the U.S. Essentially what it is the carpet car is a very high grip, very high traction car.
Okay.
So if you have a surface where there's a lot of traction, a lot of grip, that's what the standard B6 is for. If you're running in the dirt where there's not quite as much traction, then you run the D kit. Now the differences are minor. The standard B6 has the 4-gear laydown transmission, I believe.
So it's more.
So it's a flat transmission.
Sits closer to the chassis.
Right. The differences are that what they've done with the standard B6 is lower the center of gravity as much as you can, so there's less roll in the car.
Okay.
And the dirt, what you want on a car when you have a softer setup with softer surface with less grip, you want more weight transfer, you want more roll. So you want the car to plant more weight on the tires. And to do that, you kind of artificially raise the center of gravity, soften the suspension. So when you throw the car into a turn, it rolls and puts weight under the tires where it needs it. Because if there's not enough weight on the tire, it'll slide.
And specifically, it's putting the weight on the tires where most of the torque in the engine is.
Right. It also helps you come out of corners, too.
Oh, okay.
So,
that is really the only two difference between...
there's a couple of things. I think the suspension arms are different. I know that the standard B6 has a gear diff in it. It has the laydown trans. And then the D has the 3-gear upright transmission, a ball diff, but essentially the car other than that are the same car.
Okay, all right. So they're just kind of tuned for depending on what kind of race.
Exactly. It's just two different setups things. So Associated knows that some people only run carpet, so they give you a car for that instead of just offering one kit you put a bunch of crap for.
Gotcha.
They're clever that way. Those guys at Associated.
Yeah, it seems that way. I know they're enthusiasts over there. So
yes, they are.
Definitely aim at that. Let's see. So this is a kit. This is not a ready to run.
Correct.
As you'll see in close-ups. What we're showing you is one of our co-workers
has a B6D.
And so that's what you're seeing with the options he chose to build. But to bring it back to this box of parts, what are they getting? What are they going to... Actually, probably easier to ask, what are they going to have to buy in addition to the kit?
As some of you who are familiar with kits know, and those of you who aren't are going to be as familiar with this, this is just a box of parts. There's no electronics in there. Nothing to get it going. So you need to buy a servo, you need a motor, a speed control, battery, charger. You're also going to need paint because the body is clear. And you're going to need tires and wheels.
As well as a receiver and transmitter.
That's right, and a receiver and transmitter.
So you got to bring all of that to
all that stuff too. I mean, the kit doesn't even have wheels in it. So
really?
Yeah. Wow. Well, because you need to...
It's true. Again, it's a performance vehicle.
Right.
You're expected to have very specific needs depending on what you're racing.
Right. And so where you're driving the car is going to dictate what kind of tire you need. Yep. So they can't really sell a kit with a tire that's going to work everywhere. So what they do is essentially say, well, buy your own wheel and tire. That way you can work with whatever track you're going to.
This is the latest and greatest from Team
Associated. This is the 6th generation RC10. The B6, they took everything they learned on the B5, B5M line, B5M. I have a B5M.
Yep.
And the B6 is definitely a superior car. I mean, it's I don't know if it's faster, but it's they put a little more thought into it. It's a nice kit. It's a very, very nice kit.
So what is different about the B6 and the B5? So like say someone has a B5, they're happy with it, but the B6 comes out. What's going on here that they want to consider?
Well, the B6, I mean, every evolution of the RC10 is better than the previous one. How much so? It's kind of hard to say.
Okay.
But I mean, the B6, Associated, they changed the suspension geometry. The transmission's different.
Okay.
There's just more. It's a better car than the B5. How much better? It's questionable.
Okay. How many years has the B5 been out?
The B5 came out, I think it's been out.
Been out for a few years?
Yeah, for 3 or 4 years.
So you got 3 or 4 years of real world use out there where they learn, if we make this subtle change.
Right. That's exactly what it is. And then the subtle changes is what this car is all about. Like,
gotcha.
With the B5, that was the car they learned where mid-motor setups are the way to go. So the B6, there's no rear motor setup. It's just the B6. It comes mid-motor that way. So this is stuff they've learned from the B5. And like you said, you make subtle changes along the way, and you make yourself a better car. Does that mean the B5 is outdated? No, but the B6 is definitely a better car.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
all right. So there you go. It's a box of parts that you get to build.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I can tell you this much. When I build a kit and I'm done, I'm always like, I'm going to drive it now. It's so much fun to build stuff. If you haven't built a kit yet, I highly recommend you go buy a kit and you build it, because there's just as much joy in building it as there is in driving it.
And building kits is not the norm anymore in this.
Yeah, it's not. It's really.
And we get it. We still have folks come in. Oh, I remember when I was a kid, I used to build my RC cars.
Right, that's correct.
Yeah, not so much anymore, except on the enthusiast side of the spectrum.
And when you build a car, you know it so much more intimately. When you come to the hobby store, it's not like you get a lot of people come in here and are like, I need a part.
Like they've never unscrewed a screw on their RC.
Right, and we're always like, and they ask us to fix stuff, like ridiculous things, like steering knuckles and stuff like that. Yeah. And we're like, we encourage them to try and do it themselves, because you're going to enjoy the hobby. The more you know your car, the more you're going to enjoy the hobby. Absolutely. And that's exactly what it's like with a car like this. Once you know the car, it makes it so much more fun to run it.
What's the price point?
This car, I believe, is $309 is what we sell it for.
All right. So about $300. And you still got to buy all the electronics, like you said, on top of that. So by the time you're all said and done, you're out of $1,000.
Yeah, I mean, depending on how crazy you go.
Well, I think a lot of folks who are buying something like the B6 are not putting cheap parts in.
No, definitely not.
These are folks who are like the best of the best kind of thing.
And it also depends on what class you're going to run, but you're right. You don't want to put cheap parts in this car.
All right, I think that's going to do it for this Product of the Week video. Let's see, we got to do the business stuff. If folks want to come visit the shop, check this kind of stuff out in person, where are we located?
We are located at 5521 East Spring Street, Long Beach, California, 90808.
So you can punch us into your Long Beach, California, and punch us into your GPS. You'll find us that way. If you can't make it to the store, Roger's going to hit you with phone number 562-425-9000. There you go. And if giving us a call, a little too much social pressure, that's okay. You can send us an email, info@rcstreetshop.com. We also do all the social media stuff, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all RC Street Shop. You'll find us that way. Like the video, subscribe, all that fun stuff. But we do want to wrap this up real quick. We do want to point out to you in the comments section, you should find there information and a link to a poll. The owner is looking for some feedback on our up and running retail site. It's kind of there. It's still sort of in the test phase, but it is live and we're able to take orders. So he would really like folks to go take that poll and find out exactly what they would
And if you want to buy a B6D and you're not anywhere near us, you can order it off of our website.
There you go. So
do it.
Poll. It was driven home to me to ask people to go take the poll.
Fill out the poll.
Fill out the poll.
Fill out the poll and I'll smile.
There you go. That's going to do it for a video for now. We'll see you next time.
Bye.